Have you ever noticed that the more available you are for someone, the less they seem to appreciate you? You reply instantly. You always make time for them. You keep checking on them. And slowly, they start treating your attention like it has no value. But why does this happen? Here are 13 psychological reasons. 1. Your attention becomes predictable. When someone knows you'll always be there, your attention stops feeling special. 2. You remove the need for effort. If you're always the one initiating conversations, making plans, and checking in, the other person doesn't need to put in much effort. 3. People value what requires effort. When something takes time and effort to obtain, we often appreciate it more. 4. You can accidentally communicate that they are your priority. If you constantly rearrange your plans for someone, they may assume their time matters more than yours. 5. You become too easy to read. Mystery disappears when someone knows exactly what you're doing, thinking, and feeling all the time. 6. Constant attention can feel overwhelming. Even good attention can become too much when there's no space. 7. You stop building your own life. This is the biggest mistake. Your life shouldn't revolve around getting someone's attention. 8. You teach people how to treat your time. If you always cancel your plans for them, they may start expecting you to do it. 9. Your boundaries become weaker. Being available doesn't mean you have to say yes to everything. 10. You may start seeking validation. When your mood depends on someone's replies or attention, you give them too much control over your emotions. 11. Distance creates room for appreciation. Healthy space allows both people to miss each other and enjoy their own lives. 12. Confidence doesn't chase constantly. A confident person can show interest without constantly seeking reassurance. 13. The goal isn't to become unavailable. This is important. Don't ignore people just to make them chase you. The real goal is to have your own life, your own priorities, and your own boundaries. Be available when you genuinely want to be. But don't abandon yourself just to keep someone's attention. Because the most attractive thing isn't being difficult to reach. It's having a life that doesn't depend on being reached. 14. Constant availability removes anticipation. When someone knows they can talk to you anytime, there is less anticipation. A little natural space can make interactions feel more meaningful. 15. You may become their convenience instead of their priority. If you're always there whenever they need something, they may start coming to you only when it's convenient for them. 16. Over-explaining can reduce your presence. You don't need to constantly explain where you are, what you're doing, or why you didn't respond immediately. A simple answer is often enough. 17. You don't need to prove that you care. Real interest doesn't require constant messages, constant reassurance, or constant attention. 18. Your time should have boundaries. Having your own schedule shows that your time matters too. You can care about someone without being available every minute. 19. Don't confuse attention with connection. Someone can talk to you all day and still not genuinely value you. What matters is the quality of the relationship, not the number of messages. 20. Chasing can create an unhealthy imbalance. If one person is always initiating while the other simply responds, the relationship can become one-sided. 21. Give people the opportunity to miss you. You don't need to disappear. Simply give yourself enough space to focus on your own activities. 22. Independence creates confidence. When you know you'll be okay whether someone replies immediately or not, you become less dependent on their attention. 23. Don't reward disrespect with more attention. If someone repeatedly treats your time poorly, constantly increasing your effort won't necessarily fix the situation. 24. Your life should come first, not someone's attention. Friends, studies, hobbies, goals, family, fitness, creativity. These things should continue whether someone is talking to you or not. 25. The strongest mindset is balance. Don't be cold. Don't be desperate. Show interest, but keep your identity. 26. People adapt to patterns. If you respond instantly every single time, people eventually stop noticing the effort because it becomes normal. 27. Constant availability can create entitlement. Someone may begin thinking, they'll always be there anyway. That's when appreciation can turn into expectation. 28. Protect your priorities. If every notification can interrupt what you're doing, you're letting other people's demands control your schedule. 29. Don't abandon your plans. If you already have something important to do, You don't need to drop everything just because someone suddenly wants your attention. 30. Let conversations end naturally. You don't have to keep a conversation alive forever. Sometimes a good conversation is better than endless texting. 31. Quality beats quantity. 10 meaningful minutes can be more valuable than hours of meaningless conversation. 32. Don't constantly ask for reassurance. Repeatedly asking, "Are you okay with me?" or "Do you still like me?" can create unnecessary pressure. 33. Stop monitoring their every move. Checking when they're online, when they viewed something, or why they haven't replied can pull your attention away from your own life. 34. Don't make someone your entire world. One person shouldn't become your only source of friendship, excitement, or validation. 35. Keep developing yourself. Your goals shouldn't pause because someone entered your life. 36. Have something you're passionate about. People naturally respect someone who has interests and ambitions beyond getting attention from others. 37. Don't use availability as proof of loyalty. Being constantly reachable doesn't automatically make you more caring or trustworthy. 38. Learn to say not now. You can care about someone and still say, "I'm busy right now. I'll talk later." 39. Don't respond from anxiety. Reply because you genuinely want to, not because you're afraid they'll lose interest if you wait. 40. Avoid manufactured scarcity. Purposely ignoring someone to make them chase you is a game. Healthy boundaries are different. 41. Give equal effort. If you're constantly giving 90% while someone gives 10%, don't keep increasing your effort hoping they'll suddenly match it. 42. Respect their space too. Being less available isn't only about protecting your time. It's also about giving the other person room to live their own life. 43. Don't measure your value by their attention. Someone replying quickly doesn't determine your worth, and neither does someone taking hours to respond. 44. Learn the difference between interest and obsession. Healthy interest leaves room for both people to have their own lives. 45. The goal is not to be chased. The goal is to build relationships where both people genuinely want to make time for each other. Don't disappear to make someone miss you. Build a life so meaningful that you don't need them to notice you every minute. When someone knows you'll always be available, your attention becomes predictable. They don't have to wonder whether you'll respond because they already know you probably will. Predictability isn't necessarily bad, but when there's no balance, people can stop noticing the effort behind your attention. Something that once felt special can slowly become normal. Think about how different it feels when someone helps you occasionally compared with someone who does the same thing every single day. You may appreciate the first person's effort more simply because you notice it. The same thing can happen with communication. If you're always the person starting conversations, checking in, making plans, and keeping everything alive, the other person doesn't have much reason to put in additional effort. You can accidentally create a situation where you're doing most of the work while the other person simply responds. And when you constantly give more, you may eventually start wondering why they aren't giving you the same energy. The answer isn't always that they don't care. Sometimes you've simply created a pattern where they never needed to contribute as much. Your behavior also teaches people what to expect from you. If you repeatedly cancel your plans whenever someone wants your attention, they may eventually assume that you'll always do it. If you answer every message immediately, they may begin expecting instant replies. If you always say yes, they may become surprised when you finally say no. That's why boundaries matter. You don't need to be rude or distant. You simply need to communicate that your time has value too. One of the biggest dangers of being too available is that you can slowly stop focusing on your own life. You might begin spending more time thinking about someone else than thinking about your own goals. Instead of studying, working on your hobbies, exercising, creating something, or spending time with friends,